Today is Thursday, and today's the 5th day since I've ran, so I haven't ran in the last 5 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I won't run today. I'm just having a little walk before I go to work. I have a busy day, and then I go to see Neil Young at concert tonight with my dad. So yeah, won't be any running today, which is fine. I did a little bit of cycling yesterday, just wanted to get the legs moving. Because up until then all I've done is a bit of walking. Yeah, so it feels good. The first couple of days that I didn't run, like Sunday, a lot of pain, just stiffness and achy, obviously after the race, and the leg was sore. But Monday when I woke up, really sore, like the left side of my foot, the left kind of plantar fascia area, really sore. And the same on Tuesday morning, and then on Tuesday afternoon I had a bit of back pain. And then both knees were really sore, and then Wednesday it was kind of easier, it wasn't so bad. The left kind of plantar pain was still there, but nowhere near what it was on the Tuesday. And now today's Thursday. I woke up this morning and no pain in either feet, no knee pain. So I think, yeah, it just takes a couple of days for everything just to settle down. When you take your foot off the gas initially, you can get quite a lot of tightness and tension. I felt this morning when I woke up that I had kind of a little bit of a sore throat coming on, little bit sinusy, and again, when you're training, all we ever really talk about and think about is kind of the cardiovascular and the musculoskeletal effects, but also there's a massive effect on the nervous system, the immune system. So yeah, I think when you're training all the time, you're stressing your immune system to kind of keep up. So when you take your foot off the gas, like I have over the last 5 days, the immune system will drop a little bit, and you'll start to get little feelings of sore throat or little bit sinusy, which is, like I said, I have, and that'll happen sometimes when you're in taper mode. The amount of people I've coached, and once they start to taper, they say they start to feel a little bit sick, and that's why. There's a reason for everything. So when you hear this kind of, one of the things that drive me mad about influencers and people on Instagram and YouTube and whatnot is they say things that just don't make any sense. It's like they talk about some of those symptoms that you might get during the tapers, phantom pain, or what are some of the other things, phantom sickness or something like that. There's nothing phantom about it. It's real physiological stuff that's taking place. So that tends to be what happens when you take your foot off the gas. Yeah, again, when you're training, you're getting a lot of blood flow through your body. So if you are making any sort of anti-inflammatory or triggering some sort of an anti-inflammatory response through some of the exercise you're doing, yeah, you will deal with that on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. When you take your foot off the gas, those chemical endorphins that you have in your body that will fight that inflammation, they're kind of battling that. So when you take them away because you're not exercising, the inflammation will build up a little bit, which is why I was getting that left plantar pain and the knee pain and stuff like that. So there's a reason for everything. Yeah. And I like to explain it sometimes, because I don't just accept that I hear, stuff like you need to flush the legs out, or you got phantom pain, or there's so many of these what we call zombie ideas. They're just ideas that people throw out. They don't mean anything, and they some of them drive me mad. Anyway, I make it my goal sometimes to understand exactly what the physiological response is behind it and why. Because when people say these things, it's usually because they've experienced them. But if you've experienced them and you're going to be talking about them in terms of influencing people or educating people, then you should know exactly what you're talking about, instead of just using these buzzwords. Anyway, I'm going to get myself to work. That's my little morning rant over. That was Thursday. This is Friday. So it's now 6 days since I ran. I have been doing a little bit of exercise. I did a lot of walking yesterday. I went to a concert last night with my dad, and we did a long walk home. But yeah, haven't ran in 6 days now. So I will do a little run tomorrow. And today is what I tend to call like culmination day. Today I feel totally and utterly exhausted. I feel like I've been hit by a truck in the night. All the little aches and pains I was talking about have gone. So that the plantar fascia pain that I was feeling in the left foot is gone. The bilateral knee pain, that's totally gone as well. Don't have any knee pain now. I had a little bit of a pain in my hip yesterday when I was in work. That's gone. But today I feel like I've been hit by a bus. And the reason for that is, I think, is when we're exercising, usually you produce a lot of adrenaline, and the adrenaline is floating around your body, and it just makes you feel up and movey. and feel like you have some energy. So that's all gone now. It takes a good few days for that to kind of buffer out your system, all those kind of neurotransmitter, adrenaline hormones, or adrenaline and other neurotransmitters that will keep you kind of moving, active, and feeling like you have some energy. And then also, when you've been in a routine for a long time, and I've talked about before on this channel, exercise for me is a great way to manage stress and kind of mental health. Not that I have any mental health issues, but just the day-to-day ups and downs of life. And it's something that you don't really think about. It's kind of a subconscious thing that you just use exercise as a way to manage your stress. So that's gone now. So that means that, again, the neurotransmitters that you would have in your body because of stress response, high cortisol and whatnot, they're not being buffered out now because I've taken away the exercise that I was using for that. So that's something that you don't really see. And again, that's something that might come and get you when you're doing like a taper phase, is that just those hormones and neurotransmitters have been affected in a way that they're not used to when you've been running day in and day out. That's another reason why you just feel totally and utterly down, and like I said, like I've been hit by a bus. And then the other thing as well is that, you know, when you're running every day, when you're exercising every day, is your joints and muscles are being brought through a large range of motion. They're being stressed, they're being tested, and when you take that away, they're no longer being stressed and tested, so they're not absorbing, or they're not requiring as much energy. So you start to feel sluggish because you're kind of getting the build-up of the fuel that you would, or the food that you in your body that you would usually use as energy to move you is not being used. So you just kind of get a culmination or a build-up of that, and then that kind of in the system just makes you feel a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish, and overall just a little bit down, because like I said, you're just not moving the whole system like you should. So the whole thing is just stagnant, I guess, and take away the neurotransmitters that are usually making you feel good, and it just culminates in you just feeling so yeah, I might try and get out my bike later on today if I can, and just do a little cycle just to kind of loosen me up a bit, and then looking forward to having a little run tomorrow. The first couple of days of this I didn't want to run, like Sunday and Monday I just didn't feel like running because I was tired, and then Tuesday I was really chomping at the bit. I wanted to get out and do a run, but staved off the need or the want. And then Wednesday and Thursday I wouldn't have mind, I could have taken it away, and then yesterday I was like, nah, I wouldn't have went out. So anyway, I'm feeling today, I don't want to run today. I could theoretically, there's no reason I couldn't run today other than to feel like I've been hit by a bus, but sure, that's not anything strange or out of the ordinary. I felt like that before, but yeah, I'll stave it off today. I might just do a little cycle, like I said, just to burn some calories and get myself moving. I'll definitely do a little run tomorrow, and we'll see how it feels, and I'll be back vlogging a little bit more when I'm running. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope it made some sense. I hope it clears up some of those kind of weird things that people feel, that, like I said, people throw around these implements, and people on this platform throw around these terms that don't really mean anything, and I just thought I'd share this video to try and put some meaning to some of those physiological things that take place in your body. Anyway, hope it makes sense, guys, and I'll probably be back on tomorrow with a video. Anyway, in the meantime, run far, run fast, most of all, run sensible.